The other day, BitBoy,
devils! Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, they're trying to permanently ruin it!
calmly accused Sam Bankman-Fried of trying to destroy crypto by destroying decentralization. I decided to investigate the case. First, let's see what exactly is going on here. The CFTC, which in Greek means we couldn't care less about people, and the SEC, which stands for V2, are fighting over who will have jurisdiction over crypto. These protecting customers, protecting investors statements you see on their sites are the equivalent of
"It's not you, it's me." I know.
When you hear it, you know it's the opposite. Because the traditional financial system is rigged so that big players take money from ordinary people. There is no debate about this. This is a historical fact. Throughout history, since the beginning of markets, money, banks, the rich have used their position to influence, bribe, or otherwise convince legislators to pass laws that benefit them. Despite of these government institutions that exist to protect the common people, it's the same today. Here is what SBF has to say about it. Once the investors' profit exceeded the regulatory capital of the less well-capitalized brokers, those traders were shut down and in some cases liquidated to ensure that they didn't make any more money. Money their brokers would not have been able to guarantee. There is a limit on how much retail can make in the current equities market structure. This is written by a guy who has a habit of being honest.
Started looking into crypto, not because of anything to do with blockchain technology. It just seemed like a good trading opportunity.
I respect that. All this is possible because of the centralized nature of the traditional system. All entry and exit barriers, meaning access to money, is controlled by institutions that act as custodials. When someone is in such a position, they have the possibility to make their own rules, to take fees, interest, and even to use customers' money without authorization in order to make a profit for themselves. And now, for the first time in history, a decentralized system appeared where the ledger is distributed over hundreds of thousands of computers. And you who are now thinking,
I'm not into computers, I'm into money.
you'd better be interested, because you might be here for the money, but you are not the one who makes them. I know this because if you were the one who made the money, you would be drinking a cocktail on some sunny beach right now and not watching my crappy YouTube video. Decentralization of the system means that these traditional institutions lose their power. Money goes elsewhere, where they have no control. For the first time in history, ordinary people are in control of their money. Because of this, governments either make crypto illegal, like China, or want to regulate it in a way that keeps them in control. Basically, what is happening now is a power struggle between the wealthy elite and the common people. When you connect these two pieces of information, it's clear to you that crypto is at a stage where these big players are rigging the laws to their advantage. So on the one hand, it happens that the CFTC and the SEC are arguing about who will be the crypto boss, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, so they belong to the CFTC, but many tokens acting as investment contracts are securities, hence the SEC is in charge. On the other hand, there are crypto companies such as FTX, Coinbase, Binance, and others who have a lot of money in crypto and cannot allow regulation to be such that they lose it. Their goals are such that they not only want a law to allow them to continue working, but to allow them to maintain leading positions in crypto, to maintain control over money. This is ensured by setting the rules so that not everyone can get into crypto, get a license to work, practically eliminating competition. But they are in trouble because traditional institutions such as banks, funds, brokers, and others have an interest in crypto being heavily regulated, to be marginalized. Their interest is that ordinary people continue to keep money with them. And just like throughout history, this fight is fought by giving money to politicians. So far, SBF has given over $30 million to politicians from both parties, lobbying for things as diverse as preventing future pandemics and securing a better economic and financial future through various political action committees, PACs. This tells us that he secured for himself considerable influence among politicians. So, when he calls, they answer the phone. It's interesting that besides SBF, the biggest money to politicians comes from Nishad Singh, the FTX's director of engineering, from Ryan Salami, co-CEO of FTX Digital Markets, and other people connected with SBF's companies. For example, Ryan Salami founded the Super PAC, American Dream Federal Election. The PAC spent $7.7 million supporting candidates in 3 Senate and 6 House primaries. Also Salami, I don't know how to pronounce this, is one of the founding donors of GMI PAC, championing candidates friendly to blockchain innovators. SBF donated $2 million to the PAC and Salami $1 million. In addition to Salami, the founders of GMI PAC are CMS Holdings co-founder Dan Matuszewski and Framework Ventures co-founder Vance Spencer. Kyle Samani, founder of Multicoin Capital, Ryan Selskis, founder of Messari, and Bart Stephens, founder of Blockchain Capital, are also backing the PAC. Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge Capital, which is 30% owned by SBF, is another backer. GMI PAC is connected to Web3 Forward PAC in such a way that GMI has transferred money to Web3, and they even have the same site template. Web3 PAC has so far given more than $4.2 million to politicians for the 2022 election. As you can see, these people are doing their best to influence politicians. And what do they want? SBF has made a proposal for crypto regulation. He addressed many things such as hacks, asset listings, solving the problem of whether something is a security or not, stable coins, etc. But I'm not going to talk about that here, maybe in some other video. I'm going to focus on what made BitBoy go
Devils! Sam Bankman-Fried!
DeFi. DeFi is where we hold the keys to our wallets, where we transact between ourselves without intermediaries, where transactions are measured in seconds and cost a fraction of a dollar. DeFi is where we connect our wallets to one of the DeFi exchanges such as Uniswap and trade coins, tokens and NFTs. So, without entry and exit barriers, every ordinary person can access to DeFi. And this is the historical turning point that allows people to get out of the power of the elite, who have been rigging the system since time immemorial to enrich themselves even more at the expense of the poor. So, SBF offers a disastrous proposal to regulate access to DeFi.
Gives customer protection.
He proposes that any application that provides access to DeFi should be licensed, and on top of that, impose a Know Your Customers obligation. BitBoy said that he has information that SBF is proposing behind the scenes to impose an obligation for these applications to have a Bit license, as is mandatory in New York. BitBoy has not shown proof of such a claim, but if it's true, it falls into that part where the big players are trying to eliminate the competition. For example, obtaining a Bit license costs applicants $100,000. It pretty much means that ordinary people who would establish a startup cannot get a license. The high cost and lengthy process ensures that the terms can only be met by already wealthy companies. Then the SBF proposes that those rich companies introduce the Know Your Customer obligation, which effectively has the result that crypto has become the same as the traditional system, a system in which the elite and the rich continues to rule. And now, what does SBF do? He, together with the aforementioned supporters of PACs, gives big money for TV ads supporting candidates from both sides just days before the midterm election, November 8th, which is in 15 days. This means that if his candidates are successful, crypto will be regulated the way SBF wants it to be.
Gives customer protection.
It's not you, it's me.